Video quality ain't doing too good. I hope it's all coming through okay. I wasn't feeling good on the weekend. I felt a bit tired yesterday, and this morning I was like, oh god, I don't want to do anything, but you know, there's always stuff to be done. Yesterday's topic and what we were talking about was kind of fun and interesting because we really went to town on, fake it to make it. A topic of interest I want to talk about today is actually to do with specifications. And I'm just going to say hi to everyone. Hey, Pickstar, Sergio Rumia, John Fairest, Pavel Tarkangas, the regulars. How are you all doing? So I'm going to check. Hey, Alan, I'm going to also check, though, how is everyone doing so far this week? I know some of you are working on little projects and things. How has the week gone so far? Obviously, it's Tuesday. Good week so far. My week is a little bit I'm not sure if it's a good week or a bad week in terms of clients because I've got to try and nail down three clients. One of them, they're going to get us to do some extra work, but I think they're stuck in limbo with their previous developer. Another one where we have zero clarity over exactly what they want, which is really causing me stress issues. Not because, well, actually, I'll talk about it in a moment. And another one whereby they want us to do a makeover of their website, and I told them the cost, and slightly outside of their budget. And I said to them, look, if you don't want to do the SEO, we won't do the SEO, but I do recommend you get that done at some point in time. Hey, Ahmad. Hey, Plura. Hey, Shahir Raja, Robert, Pete Cosgrove, Ornalid, and of course, Brian Harper. So the topic I want to discuss today is, what do you think really gets on my nerves with regards to clients? So I'm not talking about web designers or agency. What do you think really, really drives me to the brink of despair with clients? I'm going to let you have a think and put down your comments. Please don't forget to hit like. What do you think drives me ballistic to the point where I sometimes say to the client, I don't think we can work together? What do you think drives me ballistically crazy, angry, mad? What do you think it is? Raptor, he's had it with Gutenberg. Another mobile complaint. I'm rebuilding the site to my... Oh no, Raptor. So what is this then, Raptor? What happened? What was the mobile complaint? What was it? What happened? Tell us more. Hey, Nick, how are you doing? And I know which Nick you are, right? Because I remember your surname now, all right? Pete goes with micromanaging. Robert says indecision. Hey, Artif. Pickstar says stupidness of clients. Kangas goes paying. Hey, Artif. The topic I want to just start off with, and then we see where the conversation goes, is what really drives me crazy with clients. I'll tell you. Sorry if I sniffle a bit, all right? Because I've been sniffling a bit. So, here's what. Oh, sorry, Sergio. I just read your comment. You know, they think what we do is so easy. Right, here's what drives me crazy, okay? Here's what drives me crazy. None of you are actually close. None of you are even close. So here's what it is. You're in conversation with a client, and you've either worked with them before, or you're in conversation with them, and you share the details of how you normally would be paid or whatever, okay? Prior to you agreeing the full-on specification over what will be done. So there's a cost, but there's still some minor little things to pinpoint and detail out. So you've agreed you're going to work on the website, sort out their blog, do their custom fields, things like that. But you don't have the full minute detail, right? And then the client goes and pays your deposit. So before you know it, in your bank account is the deposit money. They've paid. Before you have formally agreed on the specification. What then happens is, then you start to find out more details. Then things change over what exactly they want, because you haven't formalized it, but they've paid you prior. Now, a lot of you out there are going to go, hey, who cares? Take it. They paid you. Take it. You know, it's a done deal now. The things are in motion. Start working. You know, and once you've got it done, you'll get the other 50%. Job done. Everyone's happy. No, not me. I do not like to be paid until I know what we're doing and how I'm going to do it, or I need to know how I'm going to do it. Because if there is ambiguity, I don't like it. And let me explain, okay? Whether you're using Excel, Word, a Notepad, or anything like that, I like to have a list of exactly what I'm going to do in that task, right? I like to have a list of items. And the trouble is, if I don't have that and they've already paid, all of a sudden you feel obligated to deliver, but you didn't even know exactly what you were going to do. You know, the trouble is though, Pete, this is like a previous client. So Pete, this is a previous client, okay? And they've gone and paid prior to us formalizing everything out. So they have our payment details. So they've paid prior, right? They've paid prior. And I sent them basically an email today saying, look, I'm trying to scope out exactly what you want, but there's like 7-8 emails. There's this document, there's that document, there's a Loom video here. What I need is for you to write down everything that needed so I can tick it off. So that I can go back to you and go, done, 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 done. Not, so what are we doing here? And let me give you an example. They've got some custom fields that they've built. There's a problem. They want the custom fields changing. What does that mean? My custom fields need to be changed. What does that mean? What? The format? The label? You need to add one. You need to take it away. To just say, I've got 8 custom fields they need changing. What does that mean? You know, what would you do? Open it up and go, all right, we'll change the name, right? So that is my big bugbear. And sometimes it has happened a few times when people do that. And what I did say to the client, though, is, look, if I decide that I don't want to do what you're asking because it's not really what I want to be doing, then I will refund you minus the transaction fees from the payment gateway. Always make that clear to your clients, okay? Sometimes clients get a bit funny and they go, oh, we want a refund. Look, if they paid you via PayPal or they paid you via Wise or whatever, there will be a payment gateway hit, okay? Please do remind your clients of that if ever you do an invoice. So Raptor X is talking about lack of mobile controls when built. Yeah, do you know what? That's the reason why I'm not all in on Gutenberg yet. Well, the thing is, Pete, okay, the contract I have with the client was for that job. If now there's going to be extra other work, then there's another contract, because the contract is for the work. Unless they're on a care package, then you have something else. But if they pay for the website to be built, then a year later they want something else, that as well. Exactly, John. Exactly. You know, that kicks in as well, right? Well, it depends, though, you see, how quick the refund is given if you have to do that, John. Yeah, I mean, I always, you know, and Robert knows what I'm coming at, is that I like to know what I'm doing, right? You might have agreed like right now, we got someone this morning who's keen to work with us. They've got an existing website built with a theme. It's really dated, needs a makeover, but need to change a few things. And they're like, so how much will it cost? And I'm like, yeah, okay, here's the cost. Okay. I don't know, Paul. If you think I'm an absolute nerd, you'll have to tell me. Hey, Eddie. They want me to give them a quote. And I said to them, here's the rough cost. But what exactly do you want changing? We're just talking about scope creep a little bit, Eddie, and clarity. So sometimes there's a lot of ambiguity in client requests and exactly what they want. So sometimes they pay your deposit before you even formally asked for it, maybe. Maybe you've worked with them in the past before, and then you feel obligated to deliver. But there can also be the situation whereby, you know, it's a 5-page website, right? It's going to be a couple of days work. You know, it's a blog on there. It's pretty simple. There's not crazy info on there. Shouldn't be a problem. But when they say, I want a website makeover, what does that mean? Can you imagine inviting an interior designer into your home and you go, I want a makeover? They're going to look and go, what kind of makeover? No, you're the interior designer. I want a makeover. Yeah, I get that. But what kind of makeover? Like industrial, rustic, contemporary, modern, barn, traditional, tropical, space age, dungeon, barbaric age? What do you want? Right? And I hear that quite a lot. You know, when people go, hey, yeah, I want a makeover. You got to give me a bit more detail, mate. You know, you say you want a makeover. Yeah, okay, we'll try and work something out for you. But, and even when they say makeover, right? What, the entire website? Or just a hero banner? Or just a sales page? The header and footer as well? You know? Alan, do you find clients engaged and committed to the process? So I do find that 50% of clients we've worked with and still work with, they're not always committed. They think it's our responsibility to work it out, to problem solve, to do their content, their copywriting and all of that. Those kind of clients really get on my nerves because what will happen is you create the website and then they go, oh, I don't like that. But because they were never on board with it, you feel like you've done the best, and then all of a sudden they speak up, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that colour, but you were okay with it before. Well, I was kind of okay with it, but I really don't like it. Eddie, I've never used an Elementor template in Gutenberg blocks, if I'm honest, so I'm not sure. Have I ever got into a fist fight with a client? The furthest I've ever got, Paul, is like having a real big argument with them changing the script or the specification. We had someone at the beginning of December. She wanted us to sort out her page speed performance. She paid a deposit. 2 days later, she then starts to email me loads of details for her server. Starts telling me to contact her server, sort this out, sort that out, sort out a page that was taken down or something like that. And I said to her, hold on. I'm sorting out your website page speed performance. And she was like, no, that also includes the server. So the server host, the server uptime, the speed of the server with a third party. And I got really I was like, hold on, that's different to the website. We had a video call. We spoke. We've got this all in agreement. No. And then she got really angry, wanted a refund. And I thought, forget it. Forget this. I don't care. Have your refund. Be gone. Go and find someone else. I'm done with this. You know, because how she interpreted website page speed performance to also include me contacting her host provider to sort out her server speed and connections and email, and then there was the fact that there was something that blocked her email and it was all to the server side, and it was whatever, go and find someone on Fiverr, to do that. I ain't doing that. Justin, is it possible to add a video instead of the feature image? Hey, Justin, yes, you can. Videos, though, do sometimes take a split second to load. So here's the trick. When you have your... oh, no, sorry. You mean a featured image in a post or a... No. No. Don't do that. No. Because I'm not going to tell you about a trickery way that you could do it, because I'll tell you now, it won't always work. And you're going to have sometimes your image with a play button on. So, no. Don't do that. Do American web designers earn more than UK? Yes, well, I think it depends on the market, Raptor. I think it depends on the market and the audience and what you're delivering for them. I don't curse them out, Paul. I just lay it straight if I feel like things are not working very well, and then I terminate the relationship. Plural, can you work on these minor tweaks? Sends over of, oh my goodness, 4-page, yes. We built a website for someone. They came back saying they were really, really happy, but they had a few tweaks. Fine. Next day, 21 tweaks. And it took about 4 or 5 hours, more than half the day. You know, once they were done, then they had a few more. But in some way, we managed to get their entire directory website built in 4 days. We built it in 2 days. Then we had the tweaks. Then we have another day of tweaks. And to be honest, they paid, and I'll take it. I'd kind of penciled in that the project was going to take 5 days into the diary anyway. We got it done quicker. They had tweaks, fine. I mean, I hated it. When I got a document of 21, it was like, great. But, it has to be done. Yeah, I mean, Alan, if I hear anyone say that to me where they kind of go, well, I just want a website because everyone else has a website, I lose interest really, really quickly. I want a website. Why? Oh, well, everyone else has got one. I don't like that at all. Nick, when changing all your images to WebP, do you have a... No, I don't. I can tell you now, Safari does. Nick, Safari does render it. I mean, what version of Safari are you running, Nick? Out of curiosity. What version? Because I've never had an issue with Safari rendering images. Out of curiosity, what version of Safari are you running? Yeah, but Raptor, what you got to think about, okay, what you got to think about is the type of client. Because, look, you could have 2 American clients, right? One of them might not want to pay a lot. So, of course, they're only going to pay 900, maybe even less. Then you have the others that maybe are from a business, or they know that they get what they pay for. They will pay for it. And it depends on the type of client, the type of work, business, all of that. How long do you actually give to a client as completion date for a project? It depends. To be honest though, Sergio, it's from version 14 actually. It's from version 14 it's been fine. So version 14 and 15 and 16 are absolutely fine. So I would question, Nick, where you say someone's having problems or not rendering, what version are they? No, Nick, do you know something? Do you know something, right? That's dated. You know all of those articles. Well, you'd have to do a code snippet, Justin, if you were going to do that, and you would have to manually do it to pop a video in there, and the amount of effort it would take to do that, I don't think it's worth it. And also, the featured image won't always play the video, so you're going to have the play sign over it. And you're adding weight. You're adding weight to the featured image. So it will cause you problem. If you really want to add it, you could add it as a custom field and then show it where you want to show it. So what I would say, Nick, okay, is I used to hear this a lot. 2 years ago, I was hearing this a lot. You got to have a fallback image. Really old browsers can't handle it. And I said to people, why do you give a shit about the old browsers? Why do you give a shit? Like, seriously, why? You know, that's like someone saying, yeah, oh, I put on, how do I explain it? I put on a movie and I couldn't watch it. Hey, Catherine. Hope you're okay, by the way, Catherine. I put on a movie and the quality's not coming through because your TV's outdated. That's not my problem. So whenever anyone kind of says, right, oh, but, you know, some browsers don't like WebP or whatever, I think, forget it. We've moved on. Since version 14, okay, Safari, iOS on the iPhone, all of that has been absolutely fine with WebP for over 2 years now. So I say just go with the flow. Stop trying to have backups, because I think it's overrated. I really do. I've really overrated. In fact, I can tell you now, since 2020, I'm pretty sure that since 2020, every website since then has got WebP with no PNG JPEGs going on. Now, if the client loads it in and they haven't compressed, that's their problem. You know, I'm not gonna get involved into all of that. But yeah, just move on. Don't worry about it. You know, and a lot of the articles that still say this, they're actually written about 3 years ago, but they keep updating the date. So it looks like it's an article that's just come out, when in actual fact, and the reason you know that is because when you look at the comments, you can see the article was written in 2019, but the release date will say something like 2023. You know, and absolutely like Jeffrey says as well. I mean, I've had clients who have said to me, but I've got a really old iPhone. I can't update to version 16, so I can't see the website properly. And I have to say to them, well, that means every time you go to a website on your phone, you are at risk of vulnerabilities. And they're like, oh, but then that means I got to update. Well, yeah, that's life. I hate to say it. That is life with computers, with technology, with everything and anything. You know, I'm sure 20 years ago, we all had a favourite TV. Oh, I love my TV. And then high def came out. Well, you want high def, you got to upgrade. And then 3D came out, and you had to go and get a 3D TV, and you realised it was actually quite shit. And then 4K came out, and you had to go and get a 4K, and one day we'll have 8K and 16K. And it's like, either you move with the times, or you stagnate, right? You stagnate. Jonas, do you know where to go for help to build some stuff in Jet Engine? Have you tried the CrocoBlox community on Facebook? Have you tried the CrocoBlock Facebook group? Because there might be some people that are doing a similar thing to you. That would be my first point of call. How do you get inspiration for your projects? You look at competitors. Love your life. You look at competitors, or you look at other businesses associated with them, or you think out the box. Love your life. You think out the box. Okay, so you could go and look at 10 landscape websites, okay? And landscape websites tend to look the same. You could then look at a website which is to do with hand cream, but the look of it is so good, and what they do, why can't you make that work for the landscape business? Because it might be a different layout. You know, it might be like, you know, all landscape websites tend to be, you know, green, lots of stuff and like that. What if you see a hand cream website that's very spaced out, very clean, breathes? You know, there is green, but they also complement with lots of other stuff. You see that and you kind of go, oh yeah, why don't we do something different? Hey, Rookie, or Francisco even. Just checking the comments. WWDH, how do you optimize your website? Go and watch the video. Have you seen the page speed 2023 video I did, WWDH? You need to go and watch that video. Just go to our YouTube channel. The video is the featured video. Number 2, We released a video on Friday about how you can use the font clamp calculator, generator, whatever I call it. You can use that to help yourself out as well. So if you really want to be optimizing your website, go and watch the 2023 video. That's all I'm going to say, because I go on about it so much. Go and watch the video. It's only about 20 minutes-ish long. You'll get everything you kind of really need. If you've already built your website, it's going to take a bit more work. If it's a fresh WordPress installation, you should be good to go. Sergio, do you have a process for the clients like building the UX? No, I do scribbles, mate. I do scribbles, send them a photo. I might do it on a whiteboard, draw it out. Again, send a photo. I might do it in Canva really quick because I like to be fluid. Because when you have a pixel perfect design, as you're building, things change. So here's what I mean, right? Let's say you've decided on the content and you've got a pixel perfect design. Then as you're building it, you go, we need to change the content or the image or the orientation. I like to have flexibility, and there's nothing wrong with Figma, Adobe XD or anything like that. I just like to be more quick and snappier. So Canva, Notepad, do a drawing, send a photo. I like to be quick. I don't like to spend a day or two. Now, if the client says they want that, fine, and they can pay out their arse for it. You know, they can pay for 2 or 3 days work. Because you also enter what I call the unpredictability phase with how long is it going to take to nail down that design when you start to do pixel perfect. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. So there's nothing wrong with it. I just like to go straight in with a sketched out design, rough idea, and then fly from there. So Nick, that issue there is with you and your server. So what you need to do is contact your host provider. That means your host provider has not got that installed. And that usually means... Who is your host provider, Nick? Who is your host provider where you're getting that issue with FastPress? So Plura, how do you deal? Well, the same way. Everything I do the same way, regardless of what kind of project it is. Sergio, thank you very much. Just try to build a look and feel what so much you'll know. Raptor, I've died in now and again. Live your life. I know with the free version of Rank Math, you're good to go, but I want to know. Okay, the content right. Okay, WP Engine. That means that WP Engine have taken a bit of a. That means they have not fully installed the backend SQL side, right? And that means they've taken a shortcut. Hate to say it, hey Chima, hate to say it, Nick, but you're going to have to go back to them and say, can they please get that installed? And that should be easy for them to do. Irishman, how do you make the first toggle stay open when someone open it? What? How do you make the first toggle stay open when someone open it on the page? It will stay open until you close it, Irishman. The toggle won't close unless you do. Accordions are always open. So the accordion will always open. But Irishman, you need to use the accordion then and not the toggle. The whole point of the toggle is you got to click it to open it. Right, back to Love Your Life. Content AI on Rank Math is okay. It's okay. It's going to give you an idea of keywords, questions, and things. There are other ways you can do it. We did a video about 3-4 weeks ago on a keyword question tool. It's free to use. You need to go and find it. It's about 3 weeks ago we did it. I personally, I'm going to put it out there now, don't see the benefit of Rank Math Pro. There you go. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't see the benefit of it. Durong, can you name some add-ons of Elementor you usually use? Yes, Durong, here's the add-on I use for Elementor. Elementor Pro. Quite frankly, that's all I'm going to say. I honestly don't need to go out and use any other add-on. I don't. I know people here have their favourites. I don't need to. So if the question is for me, I'm going to say no. If anyone else wants to. I've got a cold. I have got a cold, Chima. I've got a cold. Not been well since the weekend. My head hurts a little bit. Feel a bit lightheaded. But I've got a bit of a cold. So Durong, in terms of me, I don't use Elementor add-ons. I'm fine with Elementor Pro. If you want to use Elementor add-ons, QI add-ons is good. You know, Happy add-ons is good. They're all good in a way. Uboy steroids, you know, you take your pick. Take your pick. Yeah, look, Ellie WebDev is right. Yeah, Flywheel. Sometimes I do find that some of these host providers, they should have, some stuff should be enabled out the box. The whole WebP thing as well. Nick, you know what, mate? Sometimes, right, you need someone to come into a company to tell them that they've got a bad setup. Steffi, how are you? Not seen you for a while. Hope you're okay. How do you check your website on Safari when you don't own an Apple computer? Responsively app. Responsively.app. You can use that, Steffi, but please watch the video I did on Friday. Can you watch the video I did on Friday about how you can use Clamp for your margin, your padding, your font, and your images all in one, and how it means that it doesn't matter what device you got. You can go from that big screen to that small. The clamping is gonna make it super responsive. Super responsive. Ellie WebDeb is back on. I think she's back on. Are you back on tomorrow, Catherine? I think she's back on tomorrow. Look, don't worry, Eichmann, but it's the accordion, okay? The accordion will always stay open. There is a trick to make the accordion stay closed, but that code is in one of our videos as well. Did I find a proper way to create a mega menu on Bricks Builder? Yes, I did, Sergio. There's a video for it. I put a video out, Sergio. Did you not see that video? I put out a video for mega menu on Bricks. Unless there was a problem with that video. I don't think there was a problem with it. There's a video for that already out. Hey, George, how are you doing? Hey, George, I'm in a mood today, aren't I? Now, that's interesting, Chima. Why is it a page ranked for 2 days? I mean, go back and double check your search console, your indexing, your sitemap submission. Are you familiar with building funnels, and do you believe they can apply for web shops? Absolutely, Mimi. Look, or Mim, or Milm. What you got to think about is, where do they land, and where do you want to get them to? So reduce the steps, make it flow, make it quick and easy. That's what you got to do. How many plugins are too many for a basic website? For a basic website, if you're using Elementor, anything over 10 is too much. I'm telling you now. For a WooCommerce website, I'm even going to say 15 is okay. Up to 15, because you might have WooCommerce, payment gateway. You might have a product filter, maybe. I'm talking about Elementor. If you're using Bricks, it should be even lower. Even lower, right? If you're building a website that's an appointment booking website, for instance, you might have WooCommerce, you might not. You might have some appointment booking plugin. Again, you should be able to get away with 15. It's when I see websites that are 60, 70, even over 40, I kind of go, why? What have you got going on here? Like, why? But Sergio, but remember, Sergio, that mega menu I did in Bricks Builder allows you to do whatever you want. So you can style it to be whatever you want in a way, so you can do whatever you want with it, basically. How did you find new ways to design websites? Inspired. I'm always inspired. I see something and it inspires me. That's just the way it is. Hey, Steffi, look, do you know what? I couldn't remember. You weren't the only one, by the way. There was about 4 people that asked me the same thing within 24 hours about the the maps and the multiples and all of that, and going further. So I'm glad that solution worked. And then I took it a step further with the multiple markers video yesterday. If you've not seen that, you should go and watch that video as well. Yeah, to be honest, Sergio, if I look, So this is about the bricks filter. The problem being that it's showing some attributes. I think that's more for bricks to sort out. Is using the site name okay for a keyword? I'm not sure. Arnad, do you count the Premium as 1 or 2? I count it as 2. So Elemental Pro, that's 2 plugins, right? Rank Math Pro, that's 2 plugins. I don't need Rank Math Pro. I don't need ACF Pro. I don't need loads of pro versions of stuff. I tend to find that I am able to do exactly what I want to do. In fact, one of my plugins will be code snippets. So the big lesson that I think a lot of you are going to start to realize in the next few months, because I am planning more videos around code snippets, is how much stuff can you do with a code snippet where you don't... Hold on, I'm just going to shut the door. Hold on, my son is shouting. Hold on. Hey, sorry, just shutting the doors there. Right, so I was talking about, plugins. So a lot of my websites, unless we really have to get a special plugin or something, I don't have to go pro with everything. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Like ACF is not good at doing like image gallery, but then I switched to pods, which I can do it in. So even with a basic website, like you'll have Elemental Pro, right? Elemental Pro, WP Meteor, Fast Press, code snippets, there's my 5. Then you're going to have Rank Math, there's my 6. Then you might have a security plugin. Now we're up to 7. What else? Might have duplicate page, but then I get rid of that, so I don't count that. Once you've built the website, you can add it, take away, whatever. What are we up to now? What else am I missing? What am I missing? Basic website, 7, right? You don't have to keep, overloading it. Yeah, it's like, look, Dave makes a good point. Like with CrocoBlock, I would count that as if you were to now add in all of CrocoBlock, that's like 10, 15 plugins. But then I would say to you, did you need all of them? You don't need Jet, whatever it's called. Jet Engine. Not Jet Engine, that's the wrong one. I meant what's the Jet one that all websites come with? Sorry, I had to just blow my nose then. Yeah, so what Brian is saying, Chima, is absolutely right. You might need to, resubmit, do your indexing, do all of that. It could take 2 days, 2 or 3 days to reappear on Google. Maybe there was a bit of a blip somewhere, something like that. Francisco, Fluent SMTP, what's that in relation to? I mean, I only need that if the client's got a really bad host provider or something like that. Jetpack, that's it. Jetpack, I meant Jetpack, not Jetforms, Jetpack. You don't need it. Too many websites come with Jetpack enabled. You don't need it. Seriously, you don't need it. Get rid of it. It's like, you know. Hey Blake, how you doing? Eichmann, how to remove media which is not used. So there are some plugins. They're not all reliable. I did play around with like a snippet, and I found that not reliable. Sometimes you got to manually just go through, and it's a pain. It's a bit of a pain. Yeah, Big Kahuna. So what I'm talking about is can you use a code snippet to do something that you would have purchased from WooCommerce? So there's going to be stuff you might pay a premium for, but all you needed was a snippet. Let me give you an example. Today, I had a consultation call with someone, okay, I kid you not, this morning, and they were using WP Rocket. I've got a cold, Blake. I've got a cold. They were using WP Rocket, and they were paying for WP Rocket, okay? They were using WP Rocket, okay? Right? And they switched out from WP Rocket to use my PageSpeed 2023 video. Now they're getting 100%. They were not getting 100% before with WP Rocket. Okay, now when I released that PageSpeed 2023 video about 4 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago, a WP Rocket developer said, oh, this is all rubbish. This is all rubbish. Rubbish. And I did say to them, are you saying that because I'm actually now putting out free tips and tricks that stop you paying for WP Rocket? Now, I've got nothing against WP Rocket. I'm telling you now, it's a great tool. I'm not trying to cause a problem for anyone, but I'm just saying sometimes if you can do it with a little bit of work for free, and I'm now saving you and your client whatever, and this is not a GPL, this is not an illegal bit of code, this is not anything that anyone else couldn't have found or created with ChatGPT actually or whatever. Why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to do that? Because in effect, right, that code snippet tool I've got 6 or 7 snippets in there. They are doing the job of maybe 2 or 3 other plugins, like Brain Explosion Time, right? Brain Explosion Time. Yeah, I mean, my son is watching. I mean, we're watching Wednesday. We're up to episode 3 at the moment, but he's loving it. He's really loving that show. You know, so we're only up to episode 3. So, you know, looking forward to see how that show turns out. He's really, really loving it. Let me just quickly double check the comments. Do you I think I missed a comment. Someone made a comment somewhere. Did I miss it? I think I missed a comment. Oh yeah, EPHS. What about SiteGround default plugins? No, I don't bother with them. I don't. Can I say something? And I said the same thing to the person I did a consultation with this morning. SiteGround Optimizer and everything they build has been built on the assumption that you are not using a page builder. You've really got to understand this, okay? A lot of performance plugins, thank you, Blake. A lot of performance plugins are assuming that you are not using a page builder. They are assuming you're not using bricks. You're not using Elementor. You're not using Divi. You're not using Breakdance. Because they're built to just do, you know, whatever's, okay? Therefore, when you are using a page builder or a theme builder, you've got to do more. Does that make sense? Whereas the way I've approached the PageSpeed 2023 video is This should work for you if you are using a page builder, if you are using a theme builder. SiteGround Optimizer is rubbish. I use SiteGround. I love SiteGround. George will back me up on this. I love SiteGround. But the SG Optimizer, get out of there. It's a waste of space unless you're building a website with just WordPress Classic Editor. Gutenberg in a way, right? Let me just check some of the comments. Do you consider your snippets a plugin? Well, Code Snippets is a plugin, but the code snippets inside, I don't class them as a plugin, no. I'm probably missing some of the comments here. Yeah, absolutely, Steve. I mean, look, if you try the speed video on an existing website, there might be a bit more work to do because it obviously means that you're now doing it retrospectively, and you got to make sure that things don't break. You got to make sure things are okay. What's the name of the performance plugin you recommend again? What, FastPress? Do you mean RT? Do you mean FastPress or WP Meteor or Code Snippets? Yeah, there you go, P. There you go. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes SiteGround can be worse, like 77, 75, and you kind of look at it and go, why? Even on a blank website, the minute you add Elemental in, it drops down. But SiteGround, they really, really do promote that optimization tool. But do you know something? It is not that good. If SG Optimizer was good, I'd be promoting it left, right, center. I'd be promoting it all over the place. I'd even have a banner at the bottom of my videos here. Use SG Optimizer. But it ain't all that. It really is not all that. So Eddie, when it comes to cache, right, I've got a bit of code. I did a video on it on how you can purge your cache. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about that now. Chima, adverts on Facebook. Look, you're just going to fall into the same crowd as everybody else who puts out an advert, okay? You've got to be very different, convincing, and stand out compared to everything else that everyone is putting out. SiteGround do have a security plugin. I don't think I have enough facts, Mike, to confirm how good it is. Because the problem you have is, how do you rate a security plugin? Because with optimization, you can check the page speed on various tools. With a security, how do you test it? How do you test it? Oh, yeah, Artif, SG Optimizer. I mean, I don't recommend that anymore. I just recommend Code Snippets, FastPress, and WP Meteor. How often should you purge your cache? Oh, I don't know. Every time I'm in a website, mate. Every time I make a change, force of habit, I sometimes regenerate the CSS. Just force of habit, you know. There's no harm in it. I always want to make sure that if I've made a change, I've committed that change. I want it to be visible now on the website so I can check it on an incognito site. To be honest though, Blake, if you're going to run Google Ads for them, okay, if I'm honest, Blake, okay, here's my question to you, Blake, all right? What is the value of the Google ad for them? So give me an idea, do not name them, but give me an idea of what is that company making now and what do you think they will make if the adverts, let's say they get a 10% conversion, 5% conversion. What is the value of the advert to them, Blake? Answer that one. What is the value to them? What is the value of those adverts to them. What's the value? And when you say you're going to be running ads for them, so tell me what they're earning now, if you kind of know or rough guess. What will the adverts do for them? And there's a 5% conversion. So what could they be earning per month? And how many adverts? So when you say you're running, what? Indefinitely, every month, once a week? Roughly, if you can tell me that, I can probably give you a little bit of advice about your strategy there. Commit. That is, yes, you're right, George. You're right. It's I remember, George, someone asked me a question because they were doing an algorithm in SQL and they wanted to round off or something, and I said to them, use floor. I said put floor in brackets in your calculation. Guess how they spelled floor? Instead of FLOOR, they wrote FLAW. And I was like, what? Why did you use that floor? I don't mean floor. I mean as in the floor. How did they get that wrong? And I was like, my God, you don't know anything. So Blake, can you give it? You don't have to, by the way, if you don't want to, okay. But if you can give us just a rough idea, I might be able to steer you a little bit with that. Yeah. Take care, Chima. Great to have you here, by the way. Blake, the client is interested as their main competitor uses it. And one conversion could be revenue into the thousands. The client is completely clueless and wants to spend maybe... Right, okay, so Blake... I think your £400 is about right. And here's where I'm thinking, okay? Here's my thinking process. Let's say the advert generates £4,000 to £5,000 revenue for them, right? In fact, I think you're undercutting yourself. If they were to earn £4,000 a month per year, that could be £48,000 to £50,000. In fact, no, you're not undercutting yourself. Actually, your price is about right. 10% of that is £5,000, right? Divided by 12, £400, not far off. I would go in at 480 if I was you, okay? So you're saying, I mean, when you say they want to spend that, have they actually said to you that is what they want to spend? If that's what they want to spend, then you need to go in at the 400 mark or 380, all right? 380 sounds a little bit, you're not right there, but you are nearly there. You got to be careful, though, of what promises you make. I mean, you got to think about, though, what are you going to do that is going to genuinely kind of convert, basically. And obviously, you can look and see what the competitor is doing as well. Go and look at their strategy, and can you better it? Better graphics, better video, better whatever they're doing. Can you be better and stand out and offer something different? So the way I like to work it is if you look at what would be the potential boost for them over 1 year, so let's say 50 grand, 10% of that is 5 grand. You could divide that by 12 and you could work it like that. However, I want to throw a spanner in the wrench here. I want to throw a spanner in the works. We've only got 19 likes, everyone. We've only got 19 likes. Where are all the likes? So here's a spanner, Blake. How much time are you going to spend on this per month? So let's say they pay you £400 a month. Do you know what that would equate to for me? That would be about 3.5 to 4 hours. 3.5 hours, just over 3.5 hours work for me per month. That's how I value my time. That's about 3.5 hours. I'm not going to give them 3.5 hours of my time unless they pay that amount. That's how it is. Consultation time. So think about right now what you're putting in. Because if you're putting in an hour a week, that's good value. That's pretty good. If you're putting in 10 hours a week, that's not good value. So I think where you are at with 380 is a pretty good price point to go in at. But how much time are you putting in? And here's where you got to be careful. Sorry. Don't agree on a price without understanding. And it's what we were talking about earlier with people. They pay money and then the details start to trickle out. And you go, oh, hold on. We didn't agree to that. What are you going to do in that? So 400 for 3 to 4 hours a month. Yeah, I think so. And how much of that would you go, hold on, Blake. Now we're getting the details. That £400 is, listen, if this was me, that £400 would be them paying me to do the work. And I think Brian might back me up on this and a few others. That is for me to do the work. That is not the ad spend. So this is where now you got to differentiate. Okay, this is where you got to differentiate. Okay, how much are they going to spend on advert? And it sounds like £400. So you're looking at about £100 a week, say £50 a week, or however you split it. So what is the value? So what do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? They might turn around and say, well, you get, if this does well, I'll pay you 5% profit. Don't do that. There's no guarantee. You could be doing it for 10 months and you don't make a single thing. Right? Right? Exactly, Blake. Well, no. Their ad spend doesn't have to be in the thousands. Their advert spend does not have to be in the thousands. What you've got to work out, though, okay, is... So let me explain it, okay? So let's say they spend £100 per week, okay? They're going to spend £100 per week on their adverts, okay? That's their advert, right? What do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? So I would probably say per week, they need to be paying you that, right? So they're going to spend £100 a week on advert and they pay you £150, right? And then you say to them, out of that 100, okay, if you were to get, say, a 2% conversion, right? 2% conversion equals, right? They get a 2% conversion, right? That's meant to be, say, a 2, by the way. Okay, that's meant to say 2. It equals x, right? X. Okay? And Mike makes a very good point. You see that? That 150, that's 1 hour work. Or 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours max. 2 hours work a week from you. Right? Okay? What they spend, whether it's £50, £100, £1,000, whatever they spend is a little bit neither here or there. It's about your time and what you do. Because I thought that was what they were paying you. But now, if that's their advert spend, hold on a second. How much do they value your time? Okay? So that's what you got to think about. Right? Do you know what? There's many tricks. There's many tricks to Google Adverts. Please do hit like. There are many tricks. Sometimes a lot of people get stuck. Can I tell you about a strategy? Okay, right. Let me give you a strategy, right? Let's say you run an advert every week, right? You run an advert every week, okay? And you're going to spend £50 pounds or dollars per week, right? That means you're spending £200 on adverts per week, okay? £200 per month on adverts, right? Okay. But what if you did something different? What if you ran an advert every day of a week? So for 1 week, an advert every day. That's 7 days. And you set your budget to be, I don't know, £2. That means per week you're spending £14. Look at that. You run an advert, and every day it's a different advert, and you set your budget to be £2 per day. £2 per day, mate. £14, right? Times 4. What's that? 14 times 4. What is that? 56? That's £56 as opposed to 200. Because you did a different advert. Because you know what? There's nothing worse than when you see the same advert over and 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 over again. There's nothing worse. Let me just check some of the comments. How do you find the value of a website? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You just got to go and search on the internet. You'll find something. Technical question from Manly Manchild. When a WordPress page or template is built primarily using custom fields, setting the page to password protected does not function as one would expect. How do I get it so that the page itself is password protected? That's a bit of a... I'm not sure about that, because I would say it depends on how it was built. You could use a membership plugin. You could use a code snippet. You could put in a bit of code. I think that is one that would need a little bit more... Go to our Facebook page. Go to Web Squadron on Facebook, the page, the group. Can you go and ask your question there with a few more details? Because I think we're going to need to know a little bit more. Because I think when you say it's not functioning as you'd expect, it's kind of understanding, well, how did you apply that? Yeah, Blake, did that help you? Did that get you thinking a little bit about, like, you know, because, like, you could do a different post every day and all the client spends is $1. Now, someone will say, but $1 not going to get you a lot. $1 not going to get you a lot. Well, think about it. $1 per day means so many people will see it. And for any that see it, they're more likely to see the post on day 2 and day 3 maybe. And what they'll get is a different post, a different version, rather than the same 2-3 minute post. Look at this, hey, you know, we're going to help you do this. And it's the same thing. Oh, I've seen that. Oh, I've seen that. But when you see something a little different, you recognize, oh, look, it's that person again. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, what are they talking about now? Oh, look, they got a different offer. Oh, on Monday they told me about benefit number 1. On Tuesday they told me about benefit number 2. On Wednesday they told me about benefit number 3. On Thursday they told me about a grand offer. Ooh. Ooh. You know, and it starts to kind of, it will start to, you know, yeah, it starts to all kind of work through. Daniel, technical question. Server static assets with an efficient cache policy. And it says the problem is with the fonts that are not cached. Yeah, so Daniel, Blake very nicely posted a comment to that. He said that he had the same problem and his host provider gave him a solution. So you need to take that solution and go back to your host provider. Hate to say it, but you got to do some stuff yourself. So you got to take that advice. Go to the Web Squadron Facebook group. Blake did post something because he had the same problem with his host provider. Well, it depends, Blake. It depends, Blake, how you're going to set it up. I would always say that it's good to get the client. I mean, I can tell you now, Blake, don't you dare do it out of your pocket. Get the client to pay for it in advance, or they pay for it. Don't you do it and expect them to pay you back. Because I'm telling you now, no matter how much you are friendly with the client, no matter how much they're like, yeah, we're going to work with you, don't you pay it for them, okay? Don't do it. They pay it directly. I mean, why can't they pay you in advance? You could pay for it, Blake. You could pay for it after they've paid you for your time and the ad spend. Right? You could do that, okay? You could do it. Nick, what are your thoughts on animated icons? Lotties, I think they're being a little bit overdone. So as long as it looks different, new, because you don't want things to start looking common. You don't want things to start looking common. Daniel, you're gonna have to check with your host provider. You're gonna have to reach out to them because it could be a hosting issue. Can you use custom fields and custom post types of Elementor? Yes, you can. Yes. Oh no, wait. For better SEO results. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure how you would use custom fields and custom post types for better SEO results. Someone might want to clarify that a bit. Yes, so Daniel, did you see the code? Did you see the code? Exactly what Brian is saying. I think Brian and me, we're on the same page here, right? Get the client to set up the account, because at the end of the day, the client needs to see the evidence, don't they? You know, because you could be telling them lies. Oh yeah, we had loads of views and all of that. Okay, everyone, we have been live for 1 hour, 5 minutes. We are now approaching the 2-minute warning. I think we've had a pretty good live chat there. And Blake, thank you very much for asking that question. And I hope you're going to go away from it. I hope you're going to go away from it a little bit more informed now. And Brian's right. Look, it's the client's responsibility to set it up, right? It's their responsibility to set up their Google Ads and all of that. You might be there influencing the decision making over the type of advert or the target audience or the market or something like that. But get them to do it. Which is why I do not pay for plugins. If we need to use a plugin for your website, you pay for it, you own it, and then you give it to us with the key to add it in or install. We don't own it, because then it becomes our responsibility. You own it. It's your plugin. Elementor Pro, you buy it. Bricks, you buy it. You want a WooCommerce subscription plugin, you buy it. You want to get something from Code Canyon or Envato or wherever, you buy it. You do it. Exactly what Brian says there. So we've got some clients on their Gmail account. When I had to set up their Google Analytics and their Search Console and all of that, they invite me to have access to their account, and then I could go in. When I go to Google, it will then say my account and then their account, and I can go in, and I can now go in and do what I need to do. Go on, George, opinion. What's my opinion, George? Go for it. Hey, take care, Eddie. And you know what? Good luck with that little problem you had. I hope you get it all sorted out, mate. You know my feelings on it. We've exchanged emails and all that, but I hope you get it sorted out. Yeah, Blake, just make sure your client has got a Gmail account, okay? Just make sure they've got it set up. Is it wrong to add analytics of clients within your own account? In the early days, Love Your Life, I used to, and then I realised, why am I doing this? Why am I filling up my account with their... We're talking about 10 years ago now, right? We're talking about a long time ago. Why would I be adding them to mine? Because then they're always under my roof. And what if you and the client fall apart or something happens between you? No, let it sit under their account. You don't need to see it all the time. So George, a client called, they have an established site. He wants to buy multiple domain names with some words in it. Interesting. So he wants to buy multiple domain names with words in it. Where's this going, George? Where's this going? I told him it's a dumb idea. Well, I'm trying to work out, George, why would they do this? Why would they want to buy multiple domain names with words in? Is it because they think that they're going to be able to sell them on for profit? Is that what they're doing? You know what? Is it one of those people, they've watched one of those get rich videos where people go, hey, buy loads of stuff, right? And then when people want it, you can sell it on. Yay, groovy. Is it one of those people where they're trying to do like, yeah, that's what they're doing, isn't it? Blake, thank you, mate. I'm not, I think this morning my head was a bit like, I was like this. Blue Lagoon, what? Yeah, George. No, do you know something, George? Do you know something? Let him do it. Let him do it and spend money. Let him do it. If they want to do it, George, let him do it. Let them do it and then watch them like cringe when they make nothing back, okay? Okay, everyone, I'm going to go now. I've got to go. I am feeling really, really tired and exhausted. I really am feeling tired. I want to go and eat. I want to go grab something to eat. Check my son's still alive. Great having you all here. I will catch you all tomorrow. George, what they're doing, it potentially has legs. But you know what, George? If they want to do it and they think it's good, let them do it. If people want to go and spend money on stuff like that, let them do it. It's like when someone goes and buys 10 PlayStation 5s because they want to sell them on for profit, and then actually they don't make a lot of profit. And you kind of go, well, what a prat, Okay, everyone, I'll catch you all tomorrow, okay? Same time, midday, 12 o'clock UTC. I'll schedule it later on today so it appears in YouTube. Take care. Don't forget to hit like if you've not hit like, or if you're watching on a mobile, please hit like. It makes a big difference. Take care. Stay safe. See you soon.